We're officially divorced.
You're officially divorced.
Divorce.
Right.
That's a huge price.
I'm not saying I have all the fault, but I was a very insensitive husband.
There's always a chance that you'd give love to a wrong person.
Most people just have the general idea that once a marriage doesn't work, it's a bad thing.
Yes.
Oh, so sad. Such a pretty girl. I thought she was doing so good. Oh, the devil has come.
I was an excellent father and a woeful husband.
He's a good man, good father to his children. But I got to a place where I wanted more.
My first relationship gave me the most beautiful boy in the whole world. The second one taught me that even if you show me true love, you could still be the devil.
If my income is 50 naira,
Yeah.
and you're expecting me to give you something of 100 naira, you are not a wife, you are a knife.
Something else that you have been silent about for years, and there has been speculation, dramatization. People have written essays.
Really?
Yes.
What's this?
There's a website that wrote down the full details of the breakdown in Ireti Doyle's marriage. It's on the internet. And you click on it.
As per the third person in the marriage,
And there's nothing that so people have written because and then you've just kept, as usual, your peace. You're not unperturbed. When I called you about the interview, what you said to me, you're not unperturbed. So, but you've spoken, and this is important because you've spoken a lot about, Patrick Doyle Media, I am Patrick and I. And so people are asking, I'm wondering, is there still an Uncle Patrick and you? What is this? What's happening? We don't see you together. We don't see you talking about that. What's happening? Auntie.
we're officially divorced.
You're officially divorced. Right, yeah. Right. Is there a reason why you didn't engage any of the speculation about it?
Do you see me talking about my personal life in public?
No, actually.
That's nobody's business. You're not entitled to that.
Yeah.
That I am an actor and I ply my trade in the public arena does not make you entitled to my personal life. That's and quite frankly, I don't owe anybody any explanation. So go ahead, speculate all you want. If it helps you digest your morning tea, I'm happy to oblige.
Yeah.
But
you know why people would be interested? Because,
No, I don't know why. Tell me.
Okay, because we love stories. We love, that's why we go and watch Cinderella. That's why we go and watch over and over and over again.
Yeah.
20 remakes, we keep going, Sound of Music, all of that. We just spend, and people like me grew up, watching two of you do things. I think there's a movie I remember, I don't know if it's all about Ireti.
Yeah.
So people have seen this beautiful picture for years, and suddenly they don't. So first, there is a dissonance, but more importantly, I think that people live their lives vicariously through celebrities. And so when that happens, remember when Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt broke up, and Oprah said, how are we going to drink tea? I think that's the fascination.
Which is such a shame because my life is not an animation. I'm sorry if I contributed to shattering your image of love and the perfect couple, but my life is not an animation. And I cannot sacrifice my life at the altar of your imagination or your fantasy. So if I hurt anybody, I'm sorry, but I had to choose me. I say it was a picture, it was a pretty picture. And there was a wide lacuna between the picture and reality. That's all I'm just going to say.
It would be malpractice of me. You gave me an exclusive. Remember, if I just move on like that, but you were just talking and you mentioned, I've had 2 failed marriages, 3 kids. We didn't know. We didn't know. I didn't know you had even been married. I only know your son. How did you, first, obviously, what happened with those marriages? Did you learn anything from those marriages? What caused them to fail and what did you learn from that?
I caused them to fail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not the one that will sit down here and berate anybody for my mistakes. The first thing they say to boss up, own up. I was there's a part of me that would take the easy route out. Every time I did something mediocre in my life, I always did it when I was emotional. because I'm extremely, extremely proficient in being deliberate and being strategic about everything I do. So every time I failed, it was because I got emotional, and then I became mediocre. Then I appealed to the smaller man in me, the superficial part, and the part that wasn't emotionally intelligent. When I lost my mom, I couldn't find my feet for years. There's a lifestyle there, there's an understanding, there's a spirituality, there's a connection that I lost. Just when I was getting over it, my woman was pregnant with my first son.
Oh, wow.
Then I had quiet space. There was nobody around me. There was nobody to take care of anymore, because that was my excuse. That was my medium to healing. And then there was nothing all of a sudden, and the grief hit me. The loss hit me. And I didn't know how to stand. I couldn't sleep days on end. I was irritative. I wasn't the loving man she married. I'm the goofball, man. Forget the perception out there. I am the prankster of the family. I'm the guy that starts a laugh in the most serious issue. They don't invite me for family meetings because I'll start with a joke. And then my dad was like, we
are trying to be serious. Yeah.
So I lost that. I lost my sense of humor. I lost the lion in me. I lost the leader in me. I just gave myself to the elements. And so she suffered for that. And then I became an obsessive dad. I took everything in me to my son. I was changing diapers. I was the proper stay-home dad. You know, so I took everything to him and left her behind. I took all my love and attention and left her behind. I wasn't a husband. I was an excellent father and a woeful husband. So they're not built like us, my brother. They're white. They're not built like us. And after a while, she said, I can't find who I'm married. How do we? And we parted as friends. I said, I'm here, but I'm not here. There's no presence here. I don't know what it would take for me to heal, to bring myself back, but if you want to wait for me, I will appreciate it. But if you can't, I will understand it. She said she can't. So as friends, we parted, we shook hands, and I went to try and heal myself.
You talk about the children. Did you pay a price with your marriage as well?
Divorce.
Yes.
So 5 years ago, yeah, divorce.
Right.
That's a huge price. He's a good man. Good man. Good father to his children. But I got to a place where I wanted more. And I would always travel back and forth, you know. But I knew at a point that if I really want this, it came with a sacrifice. It wasn't a sacrifice of marriage, but then he being there and the distance didn't help. You see, when they tell we weren't young, but when they tell young couples, don't be apart in your marriage. Long distance relationship just is strained. How much more someone who's been together for over 15 years as of that time. It was still difficult.
Right.
But then I knew that I want this. If I go back and leave this, it would be too much of a sacrifice. And I would go to him empty. Empty. I wouldn't be myself. And at some point, I would resent him. So I had to make that choice. And what I wanted, I had to focus on what I wanted.
Yeah.
And thank God, Grace did it.
Grace did it.
Yeah.
Grace.
Yeah.
Did you judge yourself?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Look at you. You've become one of the statistics.
Yes!
You've become one of the statistics of women who get into the industry. And now I would say I thank God that I did it, that God did it for me this way. Right. Not when I was younger, this came in my life. And then, I think this way,
was a better
it was better for me because I built a marriage, a life, and then had the children, and then progressed into this. So it's I had a better footing.
Yes. You say you've dealt with pain. You know, what do you mean by that? What kind of pain have you dealt with?
I've
everybody has dealt with pain now. I know the music for me, apart from helping me show my gift to the world, has helped me go through divorces and painful losses, losing money. I've had, in fact, sometimes part of what leads to the divorce is that you've not been a sensitive husband.
Yes, you said so.
You've not been this, so there's a divorce, and man, no divorce. Believe you me, I've seen marriage from both sides. No divorce is sweet. It takes something out of you, you know.
Right.
So it saw me through that. The soundtrack or the songs I do help me connect
Connects with
and
that.
they help me survive and help me process the pain.
Yeah.
So and I'm paid for it again.
So it's double decker.
No, double decker.
But you mentioned that, and you said that in an interview that because of the work rate and the intensity, that's what led to at least the first divorce that you dealt with.
Oh yeah, that was the most pain. The first cut is always my first divorce was I have my own share. When most people, when they talk about their problems or in a marriage or in a relationship, they are quick to x-ray the other person's own fault. But I think, I'm not saying I have all the fault, but I was a very insensitive husband. No, I was very insensitive. No, I blame myself that one.
How do you mean? What does insensitive
No, I
mean?
won't care now. And sometimes my wife will do her hair. I say, I'm going to the studio, come, and that's not nice now.
Yeah.
How about there? I won't know, because there was a time I was doing all the job, and people would call me from London and pay my ticket, and I'll go and do the music, and it was nice.
Yeah.
And
You're thinking to yourself, but I'm providing for the family,
but
so
I'm
you
giving
take care of that
you
one.
money. And you see, sometimes the first rule of love is presence.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
You can give all the money,
Yes.
but the first rule of love
Is present.
is presence. It wasn't about the money. At some point, you give her the money. When you come back, it's there.
there.
So you have to be present. I was present for the music that I love. Because I was going from studio to studio to studio to studio to studio. And at night, you say, I say, I'm working here. Sam is calling me here. And you see producers, and to be prolific means you're doing it a lot.
Yeah, of course.
And to be a professional means you're doing it well.
Well, so a lot and well. Those are two
A
pressures.
lot and well, because they're paying you well.
Yes.
So that when I look back at that, I say, that is everything comes at a cost. The economists call it an opportunity cost. So on that first marriage, I was very, very insensitive. If I was more mature, of course I married really. If I was wondering, why wasn't she seeing, what I
All
was
the work
seeing
you were
and all the
doing.
work I was doing, but no.
Yeah.
I failed on that score.
Right. You mentioned that when you're vulnerable to people who you don't care about, that's a problem.
Yeah.
What about, and you know what I'm asking, what when you're vulnerable to people that you care about and it turns out that you didn't deserve it?
Yeah, well, if you don't deserve it, you don't deserve it. You just go. I mean, it's not a do or die affair.
Isn't that a case against not being vulnerable at all?
It's not, because there's always a chance that you give love to a wrong person, or you give. I don't think there's ever a wrong person. You see, there are two good people that can fall in love at the bad timing of their life. Two amazing people, and when you get to hear about this person, oh, this person is amazing. Are you kidding me? Oh, this girl, she is amazing. But they're together, and it can't work because it's a different timing. It's a wrong timing. So sometimes it's not all about the right person. It's the right timing.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Do you regret being in any of those relationships that have been turned out to maybe wrong timing or wrong person?
Honestly, I've only regretted one thing in my life. But my relationship, no. My first relationship gave me the most beautiful boy in the whole world.
Right.
The second one taught me that even if you show me true love, you could still be the devil. So I learned a lot from my relationship. So I would never say that I regret it. Should I have been there? Well, if I was to take myself back, probably I wouldn't have gotten myself involved or indulged in that. But I don't think I have a right to regret what I went through.
You don't think you
I
have a right to regret?
because I
what you've
put
gone
myself
through?
there. All I
like
have to
that.
do is grow, learn, and move on.
You've kept Nigerians in suspense for 3 years, some would say forever. So I want to ask the big question many people want to ask. What happened to your marriage?
It didn't work. You know, I learned a massive lesson from
Right.
that experience. And it is that love is not enough. When you meet somebody and you want to spend the rest of your life with them, love is just one of the qualities that you need, but it's not everything.
So when the marriage ended, you were still both in love?
I mean, I can't speak for him.
Right. Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, you know, but for me, I mean, it's done.
Yeah.
The only regard that I would have for him right now is that he's the father of my son.
Right.
And of course, the past experiences, because like I said to you before,
Yeah.
I don't
You don't regret
regret
anything.
anything.
Yeah.
Everything that happens for me was for a reason.
Right.
So I hold on to those moments, absolutely.
It sounds like if you had a choice, you would rather not.
Why would I? Imagine if I were in the marriage and it ended and I moved on. Why would I hold on to anything?
Right.
It's just like
Just
holding on to
logical.
your ex. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Some people would, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. Did you end it? And you don't have to answer if you're not comfortable with that.
You see, the thing is, everyone thinks that, you know that saying of what God puts together, let no man put asunder.
Yes.
Most people just have the general idea that once a marriage doesn't work, it's a bad thing.
Yes.
You just think once divorce, what happened? Wow, now. Oh, so sad. Such a pretty girl. I thought she was doing so good. Oh, the devil has come. You know, they just immediately think it's a bad thing.
Yes.
But no, I've seen that not every marriage was ordained by God. Did God come down to say, you marry him, you marry her? You know, we made our decisions based on what we thought was right. But maybe not. You know? So divorce isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, but like in my own situation, I fought till the end. So that, and I prayed like hell.
Wait, so you fought just for so
I
people
fought,
are clear. You fought
yeah,
for
I
the
mean, I
marriage.
fought, personally,
Right.
I was strong for as long as I could be strong.
Right.
And I prayed like never before.
Right.
When the wave started to hit,
Yeah.
and I knew that I'm in turbulent times in my marriage,
Right. Right.
I
Okay, within the marriage.
within the
yes,
marriage,
Right.
I prepared myself for the worst.
Right.
So when it came,
Right.
I was 100% sure that I'll be okay. Because I know who I am.
In 1997, that now changed.
Right.
That was when my life took another turn.
Okay.
Because I got married in 1997. Right. And then I was just a young 20-something-year-old boy serving God, wanting to settle down. And I knew I loved God. I was doing everything right. And then I didn't realize, because when you are not married and you are poor, there are a lot of buffers. If you hang out for your friend's house, if you go snap, you can do, but you can't try that as a married man. And I knew that money was important. Not that I didn't know, but I just felt that, okay, if we're getting married, this is who I am. I have just 200 members. I've written some books, selling. I'm trusting God, things are getting better. So we're just going to grow together. Oh, no problem. I love you the way you are. I love you the way you are. And I fell for that trap. Because I didn't realize that I love you the way you are does not mean I love you to remain the way you are. Because I didn't know. Because life is lived forward but understood backwards. Now I can now see that, okay, when the woman tells you I love you the way you are, she's honestly in love with you. But somewhere in her subconscious mind, she's like, okay, based on potential, within 2 to 3 years, maybe 5 years, if I suffer for 5 years, it go change. Yes. So every woman, one way or the other, have that timetable in their unconscious mind. When the timetable can't reach, blow. Yes. They go blow up. They will blow up in your face. So that was it. So, and I was then all of a sudden you get married and they are like, okay, I say, I'm sorry, I can't afford that. We can't afford that. Well, no. If they cannot take care of his houses, what's that? I say, hello, babe. I no lie to you now. This is my income. Even my account number, see, there's no secret anywhere. So if my income is 50 naira, and you're expecting me to give you something of 100 naira, you are not a wife, you are a knife.